We all made it back, alive, breathing. Don't worry, Philippines. We're back. Bam.
Officially.
But, Mabu, hey! And welcome to The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy, say something gay. And despite it being evening for me, I'm drinking coffee. Why? I'm not sure, but I like it. And I get to show off you're not going to be able to see the holographic. Well, you kind of can. My beautiful lavender and white holographic mug. And to steal a line from someone else who will do their intro later, I am also wearing cute merch. Not just a shirt. Boom. Turing. Because of course I had to represent three of my favorite Filipino queens. So we've got Turing, we've got Bernie, who we will talk about in this episode. I'm very excited. And of course, I had to break out the Manila Luzon fan. Period.
The Drag Den fan.
Oh, yes, God.
Period. Hi, everybody. I am Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love to be some tea purr. And if you have some tea, you know what to do, hit me up. I'm not as fancy as Logan with a holographic mug. I'm just drinking some generic plain old water. Because you know hydration.
Generic, you say?
Yeah.
Generic water?
Generic water. Yeah, that. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Anyone one more time, just for good measure?
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Okay, period. But yeah, just drink some water. Cause yeah, it's too late for me to drink any more caffeine. I've drank enough today, and so I need to sleep tonight. So I'm done. But if I don't drink anything else, maybe it will be out of this cute little cup mug.
Almost, everyone.
Almost a panel full of cup mug. Almost a panel full of cup mug.
Not the
Shout out to Ovi, where was she in this episode?
Look, almost a panel full of cup mugs. Since we don't have a full, I can't go full. Can't go full party rage, but it's okay. It'll happen. River is going to get one, and we will have a panel full. But you can be like us and get one, or you can be like River and get one. Period. At LanaG'sCreations.etsy.com. The link will be in the description below. And we have other merch. You don't have to get just the mug. We have other merch. But we do ship domestically here in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. And we do ship internationally. So there are no excuses. So I'm looking at you, Philippines and River. I'm looking at you. Get your cup mug.
In Brazil.
Period. I don't want to call out all of Brazil, just River.
We're not on Drag Race Brazil yet. We can't call out all of Brazil. Just River.
Not all of them.
Don't mention it
yet.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Ooh, okay. Anyways, I am Brandon, your professional fangirl of Constant Dragon video games. As always, I am drinking out of my Stanley mug. Yes, I am still enjoying my lead. And again, more ice because it's been, again, swampy DC, again, hot as usual.
It's swampy Arizona too, and I hate it.
It's swampy everywhere. It's just hot. But we move.
Well, I am David Healy, and I don't have a cute intro, and I don't have a cute shirt. I have a captivating shirt. Ooh.
Oh.
I am wearing
there.
my captivating cat shirt, and it's featuring a lot of her best looks from Drag Race Philippines Season 2, and it's also featuring a signature from one captivating cat. And fun story, I went up to her booth at DragCon, and she's like, "You look familiar. Where do I know you?" And so I explained it to her, and she was like, "What? Oh, the one with all the faces." Yes, we are the podcast with all the faces.
We are indeed.
Yes.
We are not only the tea, but we are also the podcast with all the faces.
Yes.
I love that for us.
I know.
Truly.
The top, the tea, and the faces.
Mhm.
The
Period.
tea, the faces,
Who needs the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe when you're the cup, the tea, and the face?
and the
Exactly.
mugglers. Like, who
And the
doing that?
mugglers,
We're
it's
the
gone.
mugglers.
Yes,
Period.
we'll add her to the list of the people that watched us and we didn't know. We had no idea.
Right.
But hi, Cat. I'm a
Think
fan.
I got
And I'm just drinking some water.
work.
Kiss cat cat.
Hi everyone, I am River, your Brazilian correspondent here on the cup. And today I am drinking some water out of my skull mug because
Ooh.
after this episode, bitch, I died.
Work.
I died like Candy
I
Muse.
died. Work.
She
I died.
Period.
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 And I just wanted to quickly shout out to the Philippines because during this Olympics season, if you were on Twitter, there was a thing going around about the Philippines and the Filipinos, and I am so happy to finally be on that world because I just learned that we have a lot of cultural similarities, especially on our humor. So yeah, shout out Filipinos. I'm so excited to cover season 3. So period.
Work.
Yes. I think I can speak for everyone when we're saying we are so excited to finally be back talking about Drag Race Philippines because I'm so excited to be talking about Drag Race Philippines. And I'm going to say right off the bat, this is the best premiere of the season so far. Or of the year. Best premiere of the
100%.
season
It is the best
pretty
premiere of the
self-explanatory.
season, too.
I'm very excited because this is, for me, the best premiere of the year so far. Hands down, no question, in my mind. There's a lot of them that come close, but this one is it.
Like,
Mhm.
And am I
so
surprised?
much happened. So much happened. And I was like, how did they fit this in an hour and 13?
Because
you no
they
fluff.
cut out all of the fluff.
They gave you no fluff, which I appreciate. I love a show where the fluff is like, yeah. Let's get right to the meat and potatoes. We're going from challenge to winner to challenge to runway. Like, period. Like, I love that. That is what I was like, because I will say this, because I started watching it this morning, and I was so tired. And I was like, Lord, please don't let me fall asleep while I'm watching this because I got too much to do and I ain't gonna have time to watch it before. There was no sleep here. There was no sleep because there was no lulls in the show where I was like, this is dragging. This is, putting me down. It was so good. I enjoyed this premiere very much.
Captivating.
It was captivating.
Precious and captivating. 100%.
Captivating. Like, wow.
But we're going to dive into all of our thoughts on this episode because there is a lot to talk about, and we've got 2 podcast episodes to talk about it in. But before we dive into this episode, make sure to subscribe if you have not already, because we're here almost all the time giving you almost all things drag. And Philippines fans, we know, we see all of you, and we appreciate you very much for the love on the 2 videos that we've already done for this season. Make sure to check out the description below where you can find all of our audio podcast links, our other YouTube channels, and where you can join us on Patreon for exclusive content and early access, including early access to the Look Over Here episodes for Drag Race Philippines and all of the franchises we are currently covering. So let's dive in. And for the older Drag Race Philippines fans here on the Cup, we now separate the episodes. People might not know that. So we do runway discussions on a separate episode now. So if you're wondering where runway discussions are for the entrances and the, runway, we do them in another episode now. So you've got double the content to watch from us. You're welcome.
I'll have to look over there.
We'll have to look over there to find all of our thoughts on the looks for this week. So speaking of, we are going to start at the top of the episode, of course. We're going to dive into the entrances, but realistically, we are just going to give some initial first impressions on the queens on this cast. Brief thoughts. 1 to 2 word or 3 word thoughts. Brief
I
thoughts.
wasn't prepared for that.
Brief thoughts.
Your tone was very pointed.
Yes.
Pointed. Yes.
Well, yes.
Well, yes.
Well, yes.
Yes.
Well, yes. So we're gonna dive in first impressions on Angel.
Love Angel. Love.
Yeah, I think she's a sweetheart. I am worried she might be in over her head, but I really can't help but be endeared by her.
No, yeah, she's so endearing, and of course, the right off the bat saying, "Why are you staring at me?" Like, I just love it.
She knows.
She knows.
Beautiful girl, beautiful gowns.
I like her. I fear that her character on the show might get a little annoying as we go through the season.
Oh, no.
I fear the
And
same thing.
I hope it doesn't, but that's all I'm gonna say. I like her though. I like her a lot.
I love her.
I like her. I agree with you. I think that because it was cute when Jade did it, but because she did it in such a very different, I can't say the word because we're monetized, but you know what I mean.
Blunty.
Blunty
Y'all know what we're trying to
kind
say.
of way.
Y'all know what we're trying to say.
Very blunty kind of way, very like
It is
it's
actually
all-
kind of blunt now that I think
It
No,
is,
yeah, I was gonna say.
it is, but I think it's a step over the endearing of Jade into the it could get on my nerves after 2 or 3 episodes if she keep doing it like that, like
But I
after 2 or
love
3
her.
episodes.
Love
But
it.
I like her, but we'll see. She might see it. She might not do it the whole time. It could be just
Right.
what she did. For
She's
this
like a
episode.
grounded Jade, you know? Like Jade
Yeah.
is off in her own like complete
Jade is in Jade
universe.
world.
obviously, yeah.
Jade universe. Yes.
This is Jade after she's been in the United States for a while, and she's like, "Wait, I'm a human. I can
This is
talk
Jade
like a
on
human."
Earth. This is
Yeah.
this is Jade who's in Earth with the regular people, and she's like, okay, I do know I'm better than most of you all, but I'm not gonna say it all the time. Like I know I'm better than you, but I won't tell you I'm better than you.
You
You'll
gonna take
just
that,
see for
Brandon?
yourself. Right? What?
So
I
much
wasn't pointing at.
I mean, it kind of look. Oh,
I'm about to say, you want me to point? I'll point, but I wasn't talking to Brandon. Okay, next.
Next up, Versace.
Love the looks. Don't love the character behind the looks we were shown on this TV show so far.
she's a villain for me. She's a villain I'm liking so far. She's giving me like old school Willem, old school Violet Chachki. There's something about it that like she's annoying the crap out of me, but I still love her. So she's great.
I wouldn't say it's annoying. Like you can tell like what's going on because like for me, she gives that version of villain that we can know that things are happening, and I think that's what's given.
Okay.
Like intentional villain, is that what you mean?
That's what I was about to say.
I wouldn't say
came in-
intentional.
Oh, I will. I would
Hmm.
100% say it's
Aware.
intentional. I
Maybe.
feel like she
Aware.
came in knowing what she
Mhm.
wanted to do, and she is playing her role to a T. And she's doing it where we don't mind it. It's like I don't really mind her
Mhm.
villain edit because you don't mind the people who are villains who know they villains, admit they villains, and work through they villainous era or whatever they villain arc. She knew when she walked in that door what she wanted to do.
Yeah.
She's
And she
doing
was
the
the-
least though. She's doing the least.
No.
She is the most.
She is the most, but doing the least. Okay, but this is
Her
very
word.
intentional. But I love it though. I am not mad at it because she knows. I would rather the villain know and say that they the villain than somebody who is the villain act like I don't know what you mean.
Varushka.
Varushka.
Right.
Right.
That is the only time that bitch's name will be brought up on this podcast this season.
Absolutely. Like I want somebody who comes in with the intention of being the villain and playing the role. I'm not mad at her. I'm like, I just want to see what she do next.
Yeah, she knows she's on TV.
Yep.
She's playing the character she wants to play. I will say, I wish I liked her more than I currently do. I will say that. I think I've got some growing to do with Versace, but I don't mind. I didn't mind her, and I went on a journey with her, so I honestly don't know where my equilibrium stands with Versace after this episode.
You know what made me know she know what she doing? At the end of this episode, when she said, "Ooh, I think I picked the fight with the wrong one." I was like, yeah, you know what you do. You know what you're doing.
You just miscalculated.
Yeah,
that's it.
She knows exactly what she's doing. That's I'm like, okay. I'm not saying I'm the biggest fan. I'm just saying I don't mind her villainous. I don't mind her being.
It's giving good TV, so I don't mind. If it wasn't good, then I would be mad. But it's giving great television, so I'm living.
Right.
John Fadayaga. I learned how to say her name. Thank you, comments.
Period.
She kind of faded for me. I didn't dislike any of the queens. I'm just gonna say that so far. I do have some thoughts about some queens, but like I like all of them. But she kind of faded for me. I don't remember much.
Yeah, I agree. I think she was kind of the most invisible. For me, I'm getting a little bit of like Honey Davenport was in her season, where we're going to see really cool looks, but I want to see the personality too. I know it's in there, so I still really like John. I still really like John.
She was very sweet, like in Untucked, kind of like stuck between friends and all of that. But we'll get into it. But like that was the one moment that I remember from her. So. Oh yeah,
Lana, you missed out.
Lana, you are truly missing about 60% of the story today.
Lana only got half.
It's not even half. It's not even half. It's more than half. We'll talk about it. We'll fill you in.
I forgot.
We'll fill you in.
I didn't have. I had JJ.
Oh, I took extensive notes, Lana. Don't worry.
We can reenact it for her later on.
I would love to. Let's get to
it.
Wait, no, we have to. Wait,
I would love that. Be like I'm watching it. Like,
okay, we're rushing through the rest of this episode.
Okay, no, I agree because like I was very shocked because I thought we were going to get more John because obviously, she's kind of well known kind of in the U.S. and in the Philippines too. So like, I was hoping, but. She might be a dark horse, so we'll see. I'm hoping to see like something will jump out and be like, "Oh my god, I'm obsessed with John." So
I will just give it to first episode jitters, just trying to figure out who where they can land in the midst of all of these big personalities. So I'm not that mad at it.
She talked about that exact thing in Untucked too, Lana. So I agree with that. I am mad that you made that Honey Davenport comparison, David, because that's exactly how I feel about John, and I hope that John does not suffer the same fate that Honey did.
Which I don't want to see.
Love Jeff John. Loving John so far. Mix Chanel.
She also kind of, I don't remember that much. I think it's because there was like a group of girls that kind of took the scene this episode, and also I watched on my phone, so it was the first time that I did. So kind of weird. I don't remember a lot of things, but I didn't really connect with her in any way. No negative thoughts, but it didn't give me anything negative or positive. So
yeah, I felt like her story in this episode was so disconnected from everything else going on, like with any drama between the queens. So like even hearing her comment about it, like there was a part in Untucked where she was commenting on something. I'm like, but you're so not involved. And it's just so funny because you're almost like a TV watcher. But what she's doing, I really like. I feel like she is very stylish. She has like this whole pop persona. I really am obsessed with how she looks out of drag too. So I'm intrigued by her. I think she could be somebody who has a bigger storyline the further we get in the season.
No, yeah, I can definitely see that. I will say, I know we'll talk about it much more during Look Over Here, but like this was one of my like most memorable looks of the entrances. So like I remembered her distinctly because of her look. So Now, when it comes to just first impressions, I was like, okay, I can see where you're going. But again, I can't wait to see what she can bring throughout the season.
You can't
Lana,
wait to see how this turns out.
I can't wait to see how this turns out. I will give my thoughts as Lana is still maybe dying. I don't know. My preseason love for her was confirmed in this episode. My draft team are the narrators of this fucking season, and I cannot wait. I love Mix.
She's fine.
Period.
Not this.
No, she's fine. I didn't get a lot from her this episode, so I don't really have a lot to say about her this episode.
You're neutral. Neutrogena. Mm-hmm.
Next up, your Tita baby. Not his, not hers, not theirs. Your Tita baby. That worked so much better than I thought it would. Thank you all for having different gender ideologies and pronouns. Thank you very much for that.
It truly is my Tita baby. I love her. Love Tita. Ugh.
Yeah, our Tita baby. She was a breath of fresh air in this episode because like it just really feels like a very, very, very young cast. And I just love her perspective. Like it's crazy to think about the diversity in age last season compared to this one, but she's just a lot of fun. I'm gonna have a lot of positive things to say about her throughout this episode as we get into it.
For context, David, the entire cast is in their 20s except for John, who is 32, I believe, and Tita.
Oh, wow.
It is a remarkably young cast.
Yeah. The one thing I remember from her confessional, I am 19, 78.
78. I love her. I love her.
Too good. Just too good. Like, she knew what she was doing.
I am a fan of Miss Tita Baby. Miss Tita Baby is everything. And I was like, from the moment she walked in that workroom, throughout this whole entire episode, I was like, yep, that's my seasoned sister. We are the same age, period.
Yeah.
I love her. And she is not afraid to just do what she does. She's not trying to be nobody else. She like, I don't care about these millennials and these Gen Zers. I don't care. I'm gonna be the auntie. I'm gonna be that. I'm gonna be me. And you just go love me. You just go love me being me. And I love her being her.
And the judges
the judges are giving her the energy. I love that. It's just like, I'm a fan of hers. I am a fan of hers. She might be my Bernie of the season. I don't know.
I'm gonna go a step further. She's my moon. Like done. Like I loved her in the Meet the Queens, and one episode, and I'm like, she is. I think by the end of this season, she probably will be top 5, if not top 3 favorite queens of all time for me. I gotta be honest. Like there is something about her that I am resonating with so much. And I think a lot of it, not to get too deep on this podcast, but she reminds me of one of my aunts growing up who is no longer with us. So I think honestly, like her personality is the exact same. So I feel like that might be why I'm resonating with her so much. But no, I am so beyond thrilled with my draft picks. I'll say that. I don't care how either of them do. Honestly, I'm just thrilled to have both of them.
And who is your other one?
Mix.
Okay, that's right.
I was gonna say I cannot say the same about my draft team, but we'll get into it.
Well, next up, Kiana with a K.
Now, Logan, you said you don't want to get emotional or too deep on this podcast. I don't think I'm gonna be able to because my heart is beating so fast. Kiana, I related to her on such a deep level. I'm choking up. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Love you.
Yeah, that's funny because I actually messaged her after the episode, and I'm like, I relate to you so much, especially like just seeing Untucked and how she's so conflict adverse. She doesn't want to be involved, and I'm the same way. Like it pains me.
And
to
when
be
she
part of
explained why,
right.
We'll talk about
we'll
it.
get into it.
I too relate.
Mhm.
Ooh.
But yeah, she has completely won me over. I mean, I already was rooting for her, but I just adore her, and especially her being underestimated for some reason by certain queens. I'm just rooting for her so hard. Right now, she's my winner. Also, favorite entrance look.
No, the way that she entered, I was like, okay, I love this already. And again, the theme with the spikes that she's been doing when it comes to everything. First with the promo, and now this. Like,
And we thought someone else was going to be the Queen of Spikes.
I'm sensing a theme here. So yeah, I was gonna say. So
this season is spiky,
very spiky, and it's again pointy, spiky, sharp. So everything.
I have mixed feelings about her because I do like her. I think she's super talented. And I definitely see her going very far in this competition. I didn't watch the Untucked, so maybe I'm missing why everybody feels so related both to her, which is fine. I will watch the Untucked, and it might change my whole view about her when I watch it. I'll watch it later on. But well, I was actually watching it while y'all were talking. But
I had a feeling.
Hey, I'm not mad at that, honestly.
I'm trying to. By the time we get to it, I want to be able to at least see something so I know what the heck y'all talking about. But
fair enough.
I did enjoy her, but I was still trying to feel her out in this episode because I felt like the way they edited her in the episode was weird to me. It was like you wanted me to see something, but you kind of like when she was getting into the conversation or getting into whatever it was that we wanted to, we cut away or we stopped it, and it was and I guess it's because they were trying to fit in everything that they had to fit in, and I get it. So that's why Untucked is so important. So I will watch that, but I haven't gotten that relatable feeling towards her yet, but I'm very open to getting that once I watch Untucked. So
I think once you watch Untucked, you will absolutely be there, Lana. I have full faith. I already said I 100% relate to her as well. Like, wow, trauma bonding, shocker on this podcast. But no, I love Kiana. Love Kiana. Hana, Beshi, you did good. J-Quinn.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say my biggest disappointment so far.
Okay.
I'm not super impressed by what she's bringing, and she's also becoming a villain sidekick. I can like a villain. I can't really like a villain sidekick.
Yeah, when you say you don't like two people and that's not changing, period, I'm kind of turned off a little bit, But
yeah, I don't know how I feel right now. So, like, when it comes to first impressions, obviously, I want to like take it all in. I just can't take it in with J-Quinn at the moment.
That's fair.
So,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, nothing against J-Quinn. So, just letting you know that now. So.
she didn't do nothing for me this episode. It was just like, She didn't stand out in a positive way or a negative way for me. Maybe she'll stand out more in a negative way when I watch Untucked. But right now,
so funny to see that difference of like opinions between people that watch Untucked and people that didn't, because it really shows you that it does make a difference. So that's interesting.
If you watching this video have not watched Untucked, do it.
Right.
Watch our video
Before we get into
and then go watch Untucked.
Before we get into Untucked, watch Untucked and then watch us.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm overall neutral after this episode from Jade Quinn. I will say I love that she is representing a lot of other Asian countries that have not yet really been represented all that much on Drag Race. So I will say that much. I think her whole upbringing and hearing about like her whole perspective to drag, I really enjoy it. But I will say overall this episode, I'm kind of neutral. Now, who I am not neutral on is Yudipota. And thank you to the person in our comments that explained her name. I am even more obsessed with her than I already was.
I missed it. What was it?
Let me pull it up. I'll talk about it when that's my comment on her. My later segment will be about what.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know. I don't remember exactly what they said about the name, but I do love that they also use puta. We use that as well to say like bitch. So I love that. And this is my favorite entrance look for sure. Like, I loved her on the Meet the Queens. I wanted to get her on my team and I wasn't able to, but that's okay.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. It's totally fair and valid and smart of you. But yeah, I love her looks, and I ended up loving the personality that we've seen so far. And I'm excited to see next week, especially.
Yeah, this was my second. It was pretty close second favorite look for entrance looks. But yeah, I'm so into her. I already knew that I was going to love her based on her Instagram, which was amazing. But she's just really delivering the personality as well. And I think she got Best Supporting Actress in Untucked for me. I loved everything she was doing there. She was great, and I'm just so excited. I really hope she goes very far.
There was a reason why I picked Yudipota first, and this episode proved why. So that's all I had to say. So
She delivered for me in this episode. She just did. I just really enjoyed her and everything she did in this episode. That's it.
Well, in that time, I wasn't able to find it directly. But from what I remember, because her full, I'm going to say original drag name, because I believe she's just going by Yudipota now. Her original drag name is Yudipota Marupokpok. And the Yudipota, the pota does refer to puta, like you were saying, River. Marupokpok, I believe, is a blend, and please correct me in the comments. It's a blend of a word that means like weak and fragile, and also something that means like bitchy or something to that effect. Like, I'll try to find it. But reading the comment, I was like, oh, it makes complete sense based on what we've seen so far from her. I'm worried that the judges aren't going to understand her.
They're gonna ask for versatility, or like
which we
for her
already
to
got
step
this
out of her
episode.
like, please. Yeah, I can see it.
She has no worries. It's sympathy.
Hakuna Matata.
Obsessed. I'm obsessed. That's all I have to say. I love her.
Yeah, I told you all she was going to lean into the branding, and she did it. Lion King is her branding, and I love it. She is a queen this episode who took my heart, ripped it out, squeezed it, threw it on the ground, smashed it, and put it back together and put it back inside me. And I am in love with Zimba. I love her. Like, it's so close between Kiana and Zimba for my favorite so far this season. But I'm obsessed with both of them.
her entrance line just spoke to me, so I was just like, yes. I forgot what she said but I remember in the moment I was like, yes.
Her entrance line?
Because I have no worries.
I literally just said it.
Oh yeah.
I have no worries. That was her entrance line, Brandon. That's
Thank
why
you.
I said she has no worries.
Love that. But yeah, I'm really excited to see Zimba Ding. So again, shout out to Bring a Ding as well, because obviously like we're getting a lot of good like drag family when it comes to like to the show, which I'm really excited.
And actual family as well.
Yes.
We'll talk about the actual family too.
Mm-hmm.
I love her. She is honestly probably. I know I said Tita might be my Bernie. No, I think Zimba might be my Bernie. Tita is going to just be my heart. Zimba, she just, I love her from the moment she walked in there until the moment she walked off the stage at the end. I loved her, and I am such a fan, and I can't wait to see. I know if she don't make it to the end, I am going to be heartbroken and crushed if she don't make it to the end, because I know if she goes out before the end, I am going to just be in my very sullen mode like I was when Bernie got eliminated. So I don't want that to happen. I just love her. I don't want to continue. I just love her.
What y'all said. That's about all. Brigading, you did good with this one. Popstar Bench.
I like her so far. She's on my team. I like her so far. But again, she didn't fade as much as some of the other queens for me, but she was a little bit like lost in the middle of the pack for the first episode for me. Like attention wise and like story wise during the episode. But I did like what she presented and what we were able to see from her personality so far. Just for this entrance look, I just have to say I don't like this hair, but I love this outfit.
Yeah, I'll say she's one of my favorites, first of all. But of all of my favorites that I have, like most of them I expected to like. She was the one that was like a big question mark for me. So she was probably the most pleasant surprise this episode. And I have issues with some of the comments the judges said to her because I feel like she deserved better. But yeah, I think she's one to watch because she's a professional.
No, yeah, like I can tell that I mean I do agree with River, like I do like her. I kind of also see that she'll probably be like someone to look out for as time goes on. So obviously being over the top right now, obviously again TV on her head, and then big flashy with this. So
Doing the most.
She's the one doing the most. Let's be real.
mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm curious what part of Untucked Lana's at.
Ooh. This is fun to watch live.
This is actually really fun to experience.
I
live,
would
I'm not even gonna
so
lie to
watch
you.
Lana react live somewhere to stuff like, oh my god.
And you
lot of
will be
people want-
able to very soon.
Ooh.
Ding.
Not the unintentional plug.
The very unintentional plug. Thank you, River.
Is it my turn?
It is.
About
Popstar Bench.
Yes, I like her. I do. I really like her. I think she's so refreshing. And from the little parts that I've seen in Untucked, she just seems very unproblematic at this point. She's just like,
Well, that's not very hard to be right now compared.
right, I was like, at this part where she's just like, "Oh, he messy talking about this girl when she ain't here." I'm like, "Yeah, oh, that's kind of messy," but you know.
That's where Lana's at Untucked.
Well, no,
Got it.
I'm past that. I'm past that.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
But yeah, I like her. I think she's a breath of fresh air for me.
My comment was going to be maybe the most eternally positive person on this cast so far, one episode in. Like, really, I like her. She's getting this kind of weird, almost like Derek Barry kind of edit one episode in, where it's like, is she only going to be able to do Sarah Geronimo? I'm waiting to see whether she's going to do something other than Sarah Geronimo. Guess what she did? Okay. So we know who she's doing for Snatch Game. Should she make it there? Cool, got it. Yeah, I like her a lot.
Yeah,
And
so good.
oh, this cast is incredible. And last up, adding to how incredible this cast is Maxie. Or I'm just going to call her Maxie Anderson, because guess what? Pow called her that in this episode, so that's what I'm going to call her too.
But why? I was confused.
That is her name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, her and Angel both have last names in drag. I don't know why they've decided to go for the pseudonym instead. Because on Queen of the Universe, very happy I can still do that. She was Maxie Anderson. So I don't know why the pseudonym here. And then Angel on Instagram is Angel Galang. So I don't know why they're going pseudonym, but they did.
Well, I didn't get to watch her full season of Queen of the Universe. I only watched, I think, the first 2 episodes. But I do remember her from that. And I like what we were shown in this first episode of her, especially her moment with her sister. That was like my favorite part. I think she looks great in this entrance. I'm not a fan in particularly of this look, but I think she looks great. She looks great. She's beautiful.
Beautiful.
In
Yeah.
drag.
True.
Period.
Yeah, Maxie was the person I was most excited for this season because she was my favorite on Queen of the Universe. And I think she did really well this episode. She did not destroy the episode like I might have expected her to, but she does have like this really confident air to her. Like, it's not cocky yet, but it's like almost getting there for me. So like, as long as she's backing it up, it's going to be all good. I'm still absolutely rooting for her.
I wouldn't say she's cocky.
No, that's what I said. She's not reaching cocky yet.
Yeah. Okay, still my favorite part during the entrance. Something stinks.
Is it you?
And obviously camera points to Angel immediately.
Because that's probably who she was talking about. Let's
I
be
know
real.
that. And I was just like, this is gold right here. And obviously the fact that Angel was first, Maxie was last.
I love that.
That was a nice touch.
It.
Like how
love production in this episode.
She wasn't last. We have a 12th queen.
Well,
Well,
well, yes, but you know what I mean.
I was confused. For a second, I was like, wait, is there a secret queen? Because I have no idea who Jolena is.
well, can I give my thoughts on Maxie? Damn.
Oh, sorry.
I like her. That's all, I guess. David Healy. I guess. But yes, then a 12th queen walks into the workroom, and it's Jolena Magnagal Escueta. I'm not going to pronounce her name right. Jolena. I believe, and comments let us know, I believe someone played her on Snatch Game at one point on DragRace Philippines.
She seems to be a big deal.
She's a big deal.
Oh yeah, big deal. Mm-hmm.
Like, this is like Lady Gaga coming in.
Right, and it was a very Lady Gaga kind of entrance. For me, based on what they were saying about her, she gives the energy of, I don't even know whose energy she gives.
I have a Brazilian reference that it was giving very much to me.
Okay.
And so it's the host of the other Brazilian drag show that I recommended to you guys. Xuxa, Xuxa is her name. She dated, she was a like a kids singer at first. She had like a TV show for kids, movies, all of that. And they had very similar styles. And they were famous in very similar eras, like 90s, early 2000s. So, and I listened to one of Jolena's music, and the music was very similar to the artist that I just mentioned as well. So that's what it was giving to me, and like the size of the name as well was giving that. Just so you have a reference, Shusha dated Ayrton Senna and Pelé. So like she's big.
Okay. Yeah.
She's the moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like as far as like pop culture and like queen of pop culture, like the only reference I'm honestly coming to is, funny enough, the hilarious Ross Matthews, just with the way that he has like integrated himself into pop culture so definitively. And again, comments, tell me I'm wrong because I probably am. But yeah, she comes in, they throw her in the air, and
Like,
my
tossing
favorite
her.
part of this. My favorite
they're
part of this
soaking
is
that night
Kiana.
ganache with Miley. Sorry.
Right. But my favorite part was Kiana just like, I gotta protect her head. I gotta make sure she doesn't fall. So good. So good. But we get Pal walking in. I'm sorry. Mamwa Pal walks into the workroom.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Looking great. I love that outfit.
Honestly, I will say this, because I have never been the world's biggest fan of Mamwa Pal. Yes, I'm saying that intentionally wrong, because that's what the subtitles spell it as, is Mamwa. So that's how I'm going to say it. This episode is maybe the most palatable I've ever found her.
Palatable.
That was good. But like, because I've never been the world's biggest fan of her, but I think she finally understands how to host Drag Race. And I'm intrigued to see if my opinion continues to lean more positive throughout the remainder of this season.
Yeah, it's the least awkward she's felt in a while. at least.
Exactly.
But yeah, the hello, hello, hello. I cannot
Hello,
help
hello,
but
hello.
think about Medea when I hear her do that.
Oh no.
And I
not
forgot
this.
she does that.
No.
Work. But yes, then we go to our mini challenge because we're not wasting any time. We go to our mini challenge and we are voguing. And
Not
I
this
will say
again.
this is okay. Here's what I will say, because I don't love that it was a voguing challenge, but I do greatly appreciate that a lot of the queens were acknowledging, oh, but are these the elements of Vogue? I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
the
They were
girls
talking.
actually know some things about Vogue. All right.
Zimba especially, she was clocking all of the girls, and I was like, yes, mother. Period.
Zimba is very, very knowledgeable for having
Mhm.
for being the youngest person on this cast by far.
Yeah. Like, I enjoyed this challenge. It's just I know the discourse it's gonna cause again, and I don't think we need it. Like, we can just let
This
it
felt-
it's just supposed to be silly and fun. Let's just make it that. How about that?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Right? It's a mini challenge. Like, so who cares?
What I love about this episode so far, it gives the surprise of season 9 of Drag Race with Jolena coming in, likewise with Gaga, and now it's giving season 10 of them dancing with
They're being very referential,
self-referential love.
but
We
in a
need
very
Tempest Nijor
refreshing
going.
way. Right, exactly. But we got to see some of our favorites from the first 2 seasons. We got Arizona. We have Bernie. I love Bernie. Brigading, seeing her daughter, who she knew was on the damn show, because of course, obviously. Jade, I loved seeing Jade again. Minty, who was refreshing, funny enough. The one comment we got to hear from Minty. And Venus coming in a damn alumni dress.
I love that.
Everything.
Yeah.
Put Venus
Already
on
getting
another
drama?
Drag Race franchise.
Versus the world or something. Yeah.
I have 2 quick thoughts on the alumni from this. First of all, Bernie was so sweet to every single person. Like, she was living her best life as everybody was doing whatever they were doing. Also, we got the comment from Minty about like Versace being the sleepy queen. And I'm like, wait, another queen that Minty has issues with? Because it was Cat last year. I'm like, are you the drama minty, but my opinion changed later. I got in this episode. I'm like, oh, maybe it's not minty. Maybe it's just for sex.
But the fact that we have drama this early already, like,
And it's from a girl that was on 2 seasons ago and isn't even on this season.
Mhm.
Like, but no, I loved seeing our alumni queens, mostly Bernie, because obviously we are a Bernie Stan podcast. Shocker, I know. This challenge was fun and dumb and stupid, and some people were actually pretty good. We get a mini challenge winner. And that was Kiana. And I did not agree.
Oh.
I thought it was between her and one other person. Okay.
And
it was
the other-
Zimbia.
the
It
one
was
other
Zimbia,
person-
period. It was Zimbia, period. Oh,
For me,
Zimba, sorry.
it was for me. It was Maxi and Kiana. They were the ones that really got me.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
But I wasn't judging it necessarily through like a pure voguing lens. I was
Oh, yeah,
looking
no.
at it at more of a performance lens and like who's really
Sure.
putting on a show. So
I would have had Zimba just because I feel like performance-wise, I liked what she was doing. Elements of Vogue-wise, not an expert on Vogue. Not an expert on Vogue. But as someone that does appreciate the art form, she felt the most technical to me. And if it's a voguing mini challenge, she felt the most technical. So I would have said
Exactly.
Zimba. I'm not mad that
Yeah.
Kiana won because again, I like Kiana, but
No,
Yeah,
to
and it
me-
was good for the storyline as well for her to win. I think.
Yeah, to me, like, yeah, I did not agree with Kiana, but she was still good. I also agree that Zimba for me should have won. So
I thought Maxi was also very, very good. To circle back to what you were saying, David, I thought Maxi probably would have been my third up there. Shocker. Wow. The 3 people that did the best in the mini challenge were also the 3 people that the judges thought did the best in the Maxi challenge.
the judges thought did the best.
That the
yes.
judges thought did the best in the Maxi challenge. We'll talk about it. And speaking of, we dive right in. Our Maxi challenge, we are starting with a branding challenge, and I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I don't need a talent show. I don't need a girl group. I don't need a sewing challenge. This is how I think we should start a Drag Race season. Honestly, maybe not this specific challenge.
Yeah. I agree
But
with
a
you there.
branding challenge to start out, I love.
Yeah.
I
I
agree.
think this specific challenge was a little weird, especially since we were viewing it through a phone. Like it
Oh,
was
I
a
hate
weird.
that.
Yeah, as somebody who doesn't use TikTok, I'm not used to that. So I just felt like it was very limiting on what we could see from them. But I do agree with you. Like branding is a great way to start.
but it's smart though. The way they did it
Smartphone.
was smart. Like
Yes.
smartphone, yes. Because obviously when we found out that it was like viral queens, I was like, okay, this will like, and I love how each franchises are taking their risks on what they start with. Like again, like I barely use TikTok, but like I get why that's a thing. So I can tell like what they were doing, and it was smart for them to do. So I'm very pleased. Again, I'm very pleased. So
Well, I don't like it.
Okay.
I
and
was
that's
gonna say-
valid.
I do agree. I do like the idea of starting with a branding challenge. I just don't like this specific challenge.
And I
To me.
I think I will agree with you to an extent there because I like I said, I love a branding challenge. This challenge felt very strange in that it's like, are you looking for, and in the judging, I will say it was a little strange because are you looking for branding? Are you looking for viral video, or are you looking for a combination of both? And I think honestly, the 2 people that ended up in the top were judged very differently. And I think if you're basing off of who had the most viral video and who had the best branding, then you have the right top 2. But if this is
Yeah.
a viral video branding challenge, I don't think it was.
Yeah, I didn't like it when we had it the first time on All Star 7, and I don't like it now. I think the queens did the best that they could, to be honest, because it could have, for me, not liking it in general, it could have gone a lot worse. But the queens,
Yeah.
in my opinion, did the best that they could with what they were given.
I just needed this to either be viral video or branding. I didn't need the combination because then it got a little muddy. Where I liked it on All Star 7 was because it was just like, make a viral TikTok video. That is something that queens, especially Drag Race queens now, are going to have to know how to do and be adept at doing. Whether you are Zimba, who's 21, or Tita, who's 44, now you're a Rue girl. You're going to need to know how to do social media things. So I think having a social media challenge, I loved, and to what you said, River, I love that Drag Race Philippines is taking a risk by having this as its first challenge when no other Drag Race season has had a branding challenge or a viral video challenge to start a season. I just would have liked them separately, but
yeah, one or the other. Yeah.
There is no preparation, nothing shown. We just go straight into filming them. And this brought me my favorite moment of this episode. And I would like to reenact it for you all, if you don't mind.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Oh, okay.
Everyone, I'm asking for your full attention. I have a job to do in a short amount of time, so we need to do it fast, especially
Get it, girl. Get
if I
it,
say
girl.
play back 2 seconds and play, please do it within 2 seconds.
I love it.
I love
Relatable.
bro. It is so
Queen.
blunty. And I'm coining that as now my phrase. Because it is blunt and it is unty.
Period.
I
was gonna say the fact that they were given 5 minutes to shoot a 1-minute video is insane to me.
No.
It's insane. Like for 1 minute, you need
That's
at
why the
least,
challenge wasn't that
at the
good.
very least, 10 minutes to film a whole 1 minute. Like, the thing is, the queens could have done a much better job for us as an audience if they were given more time. And I don't think giving each queen 10 minutes instead of 5 would have made that much of a difference for production. And it would have made a huge difference for the result of their show. So,
And we saw.
I just have to shit on production because
Oh, of course.
I have to.
Of course. And shocker, the person that got extra time because she won the mini challenge seemingly did better in the challenge. I wonder why. Again, I appreciate the risk doing this challenge episode 1, but you have to keep in mind your production schedule because now you're having 11 girls do a challenge that typically I would say maybe 6 or 7 do if we do this challenge otherwise. So I love Mix so much though. Like
no, like the fact that and she was the first one to like
the first one.
She set the tone.
Like, not only did that kill me, I was just like, you know exactly what you are doing, and the fact that, and it just shows that like Mix is smart to know that, hey, like I'm the producer / director here, and I know I have a short amount of time, and we got to do this like right there, right now. And she was so like, and it was a judge's comment. She was very calculated, but to me, when
you have 5 minutes, you have to calculate time literally. Like
they use that as a negative. How do
you want them to be relaxed? No, no.
Yeah.
Any thoughts, David?
No, I mean, I on specifically Mix or in general.
In general.
Yeah, in general. I mean, clearly there was a lot of preparation that we didn't see. They had time to record songs for each of them, so yeah. So clearly there was a lot that we didn't see. And part of me is like, did they record those before the show even started? Like, I wouldn't be surprised.
I would love to know the logistics of the challenge.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, I do agree. Like, especially knowing like Angel, she didn't even get to record all of her part because she had a couple of lines that she didn't get to. So yeah, I don't know what that brings other than them thinking it's entertainment for people to fail. But for me, it's more entertaining to see people succeed.
Do y'all think that the time constraint and the strictness of the time constraint on production side is a direct result of Jade last season in the shampoo challenge?
Ooh.
Because I thought about that because they're like, and she got punished basically for it. She was one step away from being the bottom 2. Now she shouldn't have been the bottom 2, and I'm glad she wasn't because it provided the best lip sync of the year. But I was wondering, as soon as I saw Angel, and specifically Angel talking about it in Untucked, I was like, oh, I wonder if this has anything to do with Jade and the fact that she went so far over that she probably screwed up production schedule last season. Like,
Probably. So, and I don't blame production for that, honestly. So
no. So we go from recording to back in the workroom before, as they're getting ready. And there really isn't even a mirror moment because we don't move beyond the table. Because we get the first, or maybe the second or the third of several interactions this episode between Kiana and Versex. Now, obviously, because we all watched Untucked, we got the whole story, and we know that none of this matters now because they resolved their issues in Untucked.
For now.
But for now, I'm going to also caveat with for now. But I thought this fight was interesting and kind of fun to watch. I'm not even gonna lie. I was like, ooh, the girls are fighting.
Laying in the center of it, on the center of a table, in the middle of a table, and saying to someone else that they are doing too much is so camp to me.
And that they are doing the least.
So camp.
It's so camp.
She's a Disney villain.
It's so, honestly, it is very gaslighty, but you could tell that she, at least I hope that she was in on, she was joking, it was in on the joke. It was not serious gaslighting. It was a jokingly, it was clearly that. I mean,
she is a Disney villain, David.
She is. And that's why it's endearing to me, is because who doesn't love Ursula? Who doesn't love Scar? Who doesn't love Jafar? There could be a Rusical that is about this season, and she's going to have her villain song as she's laying on the table, being the most, calling somebody else the most. And I'm just living for it. I really am enjoying what we're getting from her so far.
Honestly, Werk.
But at the same time, I was confused because I was like, wait, what has Kiana done that is extra?
She's just different. She's different from them. There was one moment where I think it was Versex that said that Kiana had to adapt to their sense of humor, and I was like, I'm sorry.
And even we keep bringing up Untucked, but it honestly is very influential to discussing the episode, because even in Untucked, when Popstar is like, oh, this is just kind of the way that the girls in Manila interact, you just have to learn to cope and not react to it. I'm like, that's an interesting way to put that, Popstar. All right.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I'm pretty sure this is just regular drag queen banter, period.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we also know her to come from a house of including but not limited to Hanabeshi. So I do understand and when we'll talk about the provincial queens versus the Manila queens in Untucked as well.
Yeah.
But there's a whole additional thing to that feels a little weird, but yeah. And
when you're not willing to meet someone else in the middle, it's kind of hard to engage in any type of way.
Even in their resolution, she still didn't meet Kiana halfway. We'll talk about it.
Right.
But
yep.
Shall we go for it?
Let's do it.
Oh yeah.
In the single best thing Mama Pao has ever worn on DragRace Philippines. Period. End of story.
Period.
Also, while that music was playing, before Mama Pao came on, what was so smart for them was when they dropped the glitter in Filipino flag colors.
Oh, I clocked it too. I don't know if they've done it on past seasons, but if I'm just now recognizing that they've done it now for 3 seasons, I loved it. Because I also clocked that, Brandon. Immediately, I was like, oh, I love.
No, because it's giving to what season 16 started. Was it season 16 or season 15 when they started doing the makeup of it all?
I actually think it was 14.
14.
But
okay.
it's that we've got the brush dropping into the powder now. We've got the glitter falling. Like, it's Drag Race Philippines. I think the Filipino producers and editors now know that this franchise is one of the most popular international franchises. And
She's
they are
that girl.
upping their game now. They are that girl.
They are the moment.
They are the moment. I mean, they are kind of the moment right now.
Mhm.
Come on.
'Cause,
Right
like,
now, for sure.
Yeah, everyone in here looks so good.
And I
Mhm.
texted Lana and Logan, and I'm like, I think I have a contender for favorite host look of the year so far, because this is way up there for me.
If this is the quality of look we're going to get from Mama Pow this season, I am on board, baby. I am on board. But yeah, no, the entire panel looks so good. So good. I will also say, because I thought so, and I'm glad that I got it confirmed. Jiggly is being styled this season by Hanabeshi and Ovi. The makeup was not either of them. The makeup is somebody else. But they're being styled by she's being styled by Ovi and Hana, which I think is
Two of our faves.
incredible. Two of our faves. Hey, guess what? Another shout out to Ovi. You can't see it. Oh, there it is. Ovi,
There it is.
period.
We just got demonetized.
I hope not.
I'm
I
kidding.
didn't say anything.
No, but it
like,
said it on the cup.
Oh, because Karen looks incredible, and John is there, and Jolena looks so good that I'm just like, this headpiece. What?
She looks like a white cherry blossom. It's so beautiful.
It really is.
Right?
It's probably some sort of specific Filipino reference that we're not getting.
Please let us know in the comments if it is a reference to anything.
Yeah.
I would love to know.
But like, this is hands down, without a question, the best she has ever looked. Like, whoever her new stylist is, because she clearly fired the other one. Whoever this stylist is, keep them. Hold on to them for dear life. They're doing you good, ma'am Wapow. But let's dive into the challenge. We've kind of talked all the way around it. Now we got to talk about it. Briefer thoughts. They don't have to be super brief, but we got 11 queens to go through. So as brief as we can make the thoughts, and for some of them, they are going to be incredibly brief.
Yeah.
Okay, so because I didn't enjoy this challenge that much, I'm gonna try to keep it more concise because I don't want to like. The things that I didn't like is it doesn't have anything to do with the queens, so I don't want to be negative into something that I don't think was their fault. So I'm just gonna say my favorites. So to me, my top favorite
I have
was
all of them individually. I have
Okay,
all of them individually.
I was about to say we're not
Okay.
talking about them
all of them
individually.
I have all of them individually.
okay.
I have all of them individually.
Save
Okay,
your
but
favorite.
I did not.
Can I say my favorites or not? Okay.
Yes.
Sure.
I mean, okay, I'll just say my one favorite. My favorite was Zimba. I think she was the one that that understood the assignment the most, and she was one of the only ones that made me laugh, like genuinely. So I think, yeah, because I don't think any of them were necessarily bad, but I didn't really, maybe I didn't understand the humor for this challenge specifically, but like I just didn't connect to most of them. So
Well, there goes all of my comments about Zimba for later. So that's
well, I only talked about one queen. Come on. No, come on now.
that's it. Well, okay.
But, as we go through them, I'm gonna give my rankings because I actually, as soon as the challenge ended, I put a ranking for all of them, and I will say I actually did enjoy most of them to varying degrees. There was really just two that I thought were kind of weak. Like I had a pretty clear bottom two.
They still weren't bad.
Yeah,
I
nobody was
I might
awful.
have a similar bottom two, but like honestly, because this challenge was so confusing and so all over the place, like no one did bad, which is also why I'm thrilled that they did this as a non-elimination premiere. because no one deserved to go home over this challenge that was incredibly convoluted. But let's brief thoughts starting with Popstar Bench.
Sure. Like, okay, honestly, most of them I feel neutral about. Most of them. I'm going to comment on the ones that I like. Every other one, I feel neutral, 100% neutral.
Totally.
Honestly.
Oi, 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 oi.
No,
oi,
exactly.
oi.
No, what killed me? Like, sorry. Go ahead. I'll say it later.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, she did a really good job of getting something stuck in your head because there had to been like 50 ois, and so I thought it started off
Minimum.
pretty strong. But just seeing what we got from everybody else later on, I was like, no, that's not quite what I wanted. And it did kind of drag near the end, but I thought she had fun with it, so I did put her at number 8 out of the 11.
Okay. No, because what I was gonna say, because on the closed caption it said "oi oi" 69 times,
Oh, really?
Yep.
and I don't know if that's actually correct.
That was my favorite part of her video.
Exactly, yeah, me too. Because I was like, and this is what to me is like what a viral challenge should look like. Again, just saying something obnoxious that's gonna stay stuck in your head,
Mhm.
and that's exactly what Popstar Bench did.
And I found it to be one of the more annoying ones. I actually think this was my least favorite.
And that's valid.
Just because I still think she did good. She accomplished the challenge. I know nothing about her. Other than she makes annoying music. Like, that's really all. And if the goal is annoying music because she's Popstar Bench, then you know what? That is actually pretty smart.
I feel like that is the branding. So
I might be reading into it a little bit too much there. But yeah, for me, it's the video that I connected to the least. I didn't fully rank them, but she's had the video I connected to the least. So
Okay.
next up for sex.
I love the suit. Again, I just
Cool.
maybe I just didn't get. Maybe honestly, maybe I just didn't understand this challenge. Maybe it's just me, but it's just again not on the queens at all. Just fine, you know.
I like this. I think this is where I finally decided, okay, yeah, I'm in on Versex. I think she's fun. She's in on the joke of herself. This is where I really got Willem and Violet Chachki. I wrote it as a note there because she's like a fashion bitch who's not afraid to look dumb. And she really went, she looks so dumb in the best way. And I mean, it still wasn't like amazing, but I was like, okay, this is good. I'm behind it. So I put this at number 7. For the 7 out of 11.
I think what sold this for me was the pit crew.
The pit crew was my favorite part.
Yeah, that was me. So Logan and I are having the same brain already about this.
Yeah, we really are. Because, like, I thought this was fine. I thought it was fine. I didn't get, again, I'm going to say, honestly, very similarly to Popstar, I didn't get the branding other than just, if the point was pretty but stupid, then I get it. I think this is just a very specific political Filipina reference that I am not getting as an American. I honestly think that's what it is with this.
Might be, you know what it might be? A reference to like political ads before elections. Maybe it's a reference to like that because it was giving very that.
I'm gonna say honestly, as far as branding is concerned, Versex was the other person that I would have hypothetically had in a bottom 2 because I it's probably something I just didn't get, and I'm gonna say that up front.
So we didn't have the same bottom 2 at all.
No, but it was still good. It was still good. I thought it was funny. I didn't know what I was watching, but I thought it was funny. So, John Fedeliaga.
again, y'all, I was the wrong pick to start.
Yeah, you really were.
Because honestly, like
Work.
it's very much I had 4 people that I enjoyed, and then the rest were like a tie for 5th place with a fine neutral response from me. Like that's it. Period.
Well, I like that I keep getting to counter River's negative opinion with a positive opinion.
It's not even negative. It's literally
Neutral opinion.
0.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to do that now because I didn't like this. I think John really didn't understand the blocking of this because there were so many times where it was John and the pit crew person and they were both barely in frame and it was mostly dead space in the center. So it just did not work as a viral video. It failed in that point and there was too much focus on the guy. I want to see more of you. So this was actually my least favorite of them. I had this at 11 of 11.
No, yeah, I agree because you can tell during the challenge itself when they were filming this, she was struggling. Like she had no idea what she was doing because like she knew she was like yeah, she is an influencer with like all the makeup videos, but at the same time, like she was like, I feel like micromanaging some things that was just like from one there to another. So like I can tell that she was struggling, like even like watching the final product.
Maybe it was something like right at the beginning with the concept of it all that was not like 100% in a specific direction, and it was kind of
And
there.
for me, what put John a little bit above the other people whose concepts I didn't get is I did understand John's concept,
Yeah,
but
me
as
too.
someone that produces, edits, and distributes my own content in several different varieties, I absolutely resonated with John here because I've been in moments where I'm not producing and directing and it feels really weird to just be the talent. So I really resonated with John here because her entire struggle was, oh, I'm not the one filming, I'm not the one producing this, I'm just doing it. I don't know how to do that. And for someone who, like, this should have been John's challenge to lose. I understand her struggles because of the letting go of everything. And I'm worried that that's going to impact her throughout the rest of the season. I don't want it to because I really, really like John a lot. But I absolutely resonated with what she was saying. I forgot who this was for a second. This is Maxie.
It's the door Delano.
Oh my god.
Party. David,
Very that.
Party.
Okay, so Maxie was one of the 4 videos that I did enjoy.
Yay! Yay!
We
River!
finally got there, y'all. We got there.
Party!
I don't know who's next, but we got there with her. I love this idea. Like, I think she had the best, like, fully realized concept and execution. It wasn't my favorite overall, but I think in just personal taste, but I think in execution, she did the best. Because, like, the background made sense with the outfit, that made sense with the lyrics, that made, like, everything just made sense and seemed very intentional and well thought out for me. She was able to get a few laughs from me as well. Not as much as the other people that I enjoyed, but she wasn't as funny, but I think she had the best concept and visual for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it almost felt like the most like of an actual music video. And I think that was aided by her singing and singing very well. But I also thought that she really shined with personality. She gave all the character I needed, and she just really shined a bright light throughout this whole challenge. I do think there's other people who did the branding better, so they might be ranked a little bit higher than Maxie was for me, but I still really like this. This was my number 5.
Oh yeah, I didn't say she was like tied, because I have 2 people that were like 3rd and 4th for me, and then 2 people that stood out more.
Okay. Well, now I'm curious which of my top 4 was not in your top 4.
We'll see.
Could we take the banner down for a minute?
I guess so.
Because, yeah, that's why.
Okay.
Why?
Because this
The
would
pit crew's ass.
yes,
Oh.
this would killed me because like the way that the pit crew like stayed down there while Maxi was just like, that was the highlight of the entire video, and that's what was the reason why this was like one of my favorites. All right, we're gonna put the banner back up.
I thought you were about to pull.
Yeah,
up
she knew how to use the pit crew very well for her video.
And for all of the reasons that you all have described, this was my favorite video. I just think, to exactly what you were saying, River, I think this was the best produced, the best executed. I understand her brand because she sang the song, so we got her vocals, and if her brand is Asia's live singing drag superstar, that's what I got from this. And I love that all of the lyrics were just asshole. I really resonate to that. I really resonated with her lyrics a lot. And I think overall she did, she was my favorite.
Yeah, the only reason why she wasn't up there for me is because the humor was not my favorite, even though I still laughed, but I think other people were just funnier with also the branding and production part. But so good.
Next up, Angel.
This hurts to say because I love Angel. Like, as a person, as a personality on the show, I love her. She stole this episode for me in that department. But I'm not enjoying what I'm seeing from her drag-wise so far. I think she's beautiful. I don't think she looked or did bad. But just, I like her much more than I like what she's doing on the challenges.
Yeah, I agree. She's adorable. If they judge this like a normal episode, I think she definitely would have been in the bottom 3, especially now knowing that she ran out of time. For me, yeah, I thought she was cute, but it was a lot of like wiggling while she was surrounded by a bunch of hot guys. And I just wanted a little bit more. So she was my number 9 out of 11.
Yeah, like obviously because she didn't finish, we couldn't get to see like what would have been the final like product. So I mean, overall, like it started out strong, and then to me it kind of got nowhere around, I want to say 3/4 of the way. So like very close to the end.
I was bored. And I don't want to be bored by her. Like, she's another one that, like, I got the concept, I just didn't like it. So, for that reason, it put it above, for me personally, Popstar and Ver. It's so weird calling her Ver. I don't like it.
Yeah.
No one's making you.
I know, but, like, she was, so I now feel compelled to call her Ver, but it's just very strange. But yeah, I was disappointed by Angel. I do agree with you, David. I think if this was a traditional episode, she honestly could have been in the bottom 2, and I understand why Maxi was concerned in Untucked. But yes, I pulled this photo of you both on purpose. You're welcome.
All right, so she was the other one that I really enjoyed because this is exactly my sense of humor. Like, I have a plethora of it's very eclectic, let's say that. But this specific type of humor, it's something that I really enjoy. And she also had good visuals and funny like lyrics and all. Like, I think similar to Maxi, she also had something that was fully realized. Even though, like, production-wise, I still think Maxi did better. But I like this concept more than I liked Maxi's. But I liked Maxi's execution more. So it's kind of there, but for me, Yuri was my second favorite today.
Okay, well, yeah, I really like this. Like, it was immediately funny. Like, it felt so meta and on the nose, and I don't know. She just was so smart with this whole thing, because on paper, this is not something she should have been good at. This is not who we thought like this kind of queen would be. But yeah, I thought she was a lot of fun. And those safe girls are haters. They just don't get it. This was my number 4.
No, Yuri Poto was great. The fact that like half the time she was deadpan, but that was the point, and I still was laughing out of all that. Again, she knew what she was doing, and I'm so happy.
She had a very clear vision.
Absolutely. Very pleasantly surprised by Yuri Poto this episode for that exact reason that you brought up, David. Like, she understood what this challenge should have been, and did that. And there is a universe I could have seen her in the top 2.
For sure.
For me, she should have been, but we'll get into it.
And yes, I pulled this specific photo of Kiana as well, because the first thing I want to highlight is cover your breastplate. Thank you. Now moving on.
Well, this hurts because as I've said, I love her. She is my absolute favorite. I did not enjoy her video. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. Well, I liked it. I liked her video. I did. I thought it was fun, especially like just how manic it got with people tossing her around. For me, it did start off a little infomercially. I actually wish she only had 5 minutes, because I felt like she was doing a little too much. And when you only have 60 seconds, you don't need to go crazy with it. And I felt like she went crazy. She even had a costume change.
Oh yeah,
2 of them.
Very gorgeous.
She wore 3 costumes. One of them was her entrance look.
Yeah, like you had too much. You had too much time on your hands, girl. But I did like it. She and I love her. I'm obsessed with her. I was happy she was in the top 2 just because I like her. But for me, she was number 6.
Okay, good.
No, yeah, she was all right for me, because like initial watch of the final product, I was like, okay, I still liked it, but was it top for me? Honestly, no. Because the only like parts that did stick out for me was they did it during the judges' deliberations, was when she was twerking on the guy, and the guy was like grabbing onto her legs.
She's good at
the
that.
wheelbarrow.
You can twerk.
Yep.
Wheelbarrowing.
Yep, which I was obsessed with.
That was also my favorite part of her commercial. But I will say, River, I'm right there with you. I didn't like this. Who's Kiana? I did not get branding from this at all. And this is why I made the comment earlier of, if we're judging the top 2 based on who had the best viral video and who had the best branding, and those are 2 separate people in the top 2, then sure, I understand why Kiana was in the top 2. But I have no clue who she is as a queen based off of this video. Other than
the thing is, we don't know who she is as a drag persona. Like, we didn't get to know that, but we got to know her as a person. Like, the person behind the drag, we were able to get a lot.
And that's
but
why
now I want to fall in love with the drag persona as much as I have fallen in love with the person behind it.
I agree completely.
We will.
Agree.
We will.
I think we will. Yeah.
Mix Chanel.
This was, out of the ones that I didn't enjoy as much, this was one of the best ones, because I just really enjoyed this concept of like 80s Jane Fonda workout video kind of thing. Like, I really love that. So because I really love the concept, I just think she did a little bit better. But I didn't enjoy the content of the video. But again, like I just want to preface all of the girls that I say that I didn't enjoy. I didn't think they did bad. I'm just saying like it wasn't for me. I wasn't the audience, the target audience. Let's just say that.
Well, I was the target audience for this because I was obsessed with this. I felt like out of everybody, she got the memo. She got the memo. She gave us branding. She gave us talent. She gave us polish. She gave us perfection. I thought there was absolutely nothing wrong with this at all. It was my number one.
I'm so fucking happy to hear that.
I think what made this very chaotic for me, and in the best way, because you can tell like Mix was doing like her thing, and then like both pit crew members was like so stressed on what was going on, and I
panic on the pit crew's eyes. They were like,
what did I sign up for?
legitimately, like I better be getting paid double time for this, because what the fuck. I'm so happy that you love this, David. This was my number 3.
Okay.
I had a clear top 3. This is my number 3. Can we talk about how she knew that there was going to be a branding challenge and came prepared for a branding challenge?
See, they might have recorded those songs ahead of time.
No, I'm talking about the outfit. The outfit matches what she's doing with the branding. She had
but that's what I'm saying.
Well,
I'm saying,
yeah,
if they recorded the songs ahead of time, she might have known to bring.
She might have. And if that's the case, I love this for her. Truly impressed. Impressed with me.
I know I had my time, but I was just so irritated with the way that she was judged for this because they were penalizing her for her professionalism. No, any other season, like just think about it. Precious Paul and Nicole, Captivating Cat Cat, they were as professional as they came in that season. And I feel like she fits in with those type of winners so far on what we're seeing from her. Like she's giving me Manila a little bit. Like I think she's great. Great.
The disappointing part is I feel like they're already not featuring her, so I'm worried.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she would have been like 5th for me, I think. Yeah,
I'll take
so
that.
It sounded like that
there,
based on your comments.
Yeah.
I just think that they are trying to get a different kind of winner, and I think maybe she's too similar to the other winners.
But you know who isn't too similar to the other winners? Not
Tita Baby.
Not hers, not theirs, but our Tita Baby.
Period. I mean, this was up there for me as well. She was tied for me with Maxi in like my 3rd and 4th favorites. This was just good and funny and silly and dumb, and I love it. This is also like my type of humor as well. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say about this. This was hilarious. Like she really leaned into the Tita Auntie branding, and it just worked so well. Like I did not expect her to come away as one of my favorites in this challenge, but she killed it. She was my number 3.
Oh no, I was like impressed. Like I knew from the get-go, like from this challenge, like she was gonna have fun with this, and she did. Spelling her entire name out, like, and what makes it even funnier is like she just spells Tita with her body, but doesn't do with baby, obviously, because you can't do B like with your entire body. Like you could, but with how fast that she was going, like it was so smart for her just to spell Tita with her body, and it just made it much more hilarious when it went to BABY. I just loved it.
TITABABY. Period. Love her. Love Tita Baby. J. Quinn.
I had actually forgotten about this one. Not her. This video. It was forgettable. Not bad though, but out of like 11, it's hard to stand out. So, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think this was good. There were things I like the idea behind it. Like she was very cutesy, very J-pop, and the food of it all was cool. I just honestly, this was the one person where the song and the singing specifically really detracted. Like if I heard this, like if I was scrolling through TikToks or however it works, and I heard that voice, next, I just
Not
hated
however it works,
No,
David.
sorry.
No.
No, sorry.
it.
Next.
Next, yes, that's what I would say to that video.
David, I love you, but you're showing your age here.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, now people are gonna know
However,
I'm
it's not work.
27. No, this was not right. And but is a sausage? Is that a sausage?
Oh, you didn't have the subtitles on because the subtitles literally say sausage is sausage in Japanese.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Japanese or Korean. I'm not 100% sure which language. Or Chinese. I'm not sure what language.
She was
I
my
mean-
number 10, so I would have had her in the bottom too with John.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, I will
Hmm.
say, in Cantonese, Chinese sausage is lap chong.
Yes.
So
I couldn't remember whether it was in Mandarin. I think it's Japanese.
mhm. Yeah, I think it's Japanese for this one specifically because she is dressed as Sailor Moon in here.
Yeah, that's also kind of what I was thinking. But with how
That
many
makes sense.
different Asian cultural references she's making in her drag, I honestly don't know.
I know. But I will say this: when it comes to branding, though, like Jay Quinn dressing up as Sailor Moon here, like works. But everything else,
And
like,
then with Mix also doing it at the start of the episode, I was like, so much Sailor Moon.
yeah, which I loved.
Love Sailor Moon.
Now the video itself, yeah, it was all over the place. I don't know where things were going, and like I was still entertained, but at the same time, like I just couldn't. So
Concept 10. Love this concept, honestly. Execution 4. And I agree with you, David. A lot of it has to do with the song, and it wasn't produced well. Which makes me think I'm more along your lines. I think they might have done it beforehand. Because I feel like if they filmed this in studio, they would have auto-tuned the hell out of it.
Right.
It was not. So, unless that's an intentional choice on her part, which it honestly could be. So,
If anyone knows any tea about like production and all of that, like that part, please let us know, please.
thank you.
Hmm.
And last up, period, Zimbadang.
I mean, she was the moment. Period. This was my favorite. Like okay, I was gonna say like by far, but it wasn't like that far. But it was very clear to me.
Solidly your favorite.
Yeah, not like by a landslide, but very, very much solid. It does help that The Lion King was the first movie that I was obsessed over, and it was the reason why my parents were like, "Okay, we're spending too much money at Blockbuster. We're gonna start buying you VHS tapes, so because you want to rewatch the same movie again and again." So, yes,
Yeah, I thought this was great.
it was my first VHS tape, so very,
Okay.
Aw.
very
I
nostalgic.
think it was
Yeah.
mine too, actually. Now that I think about it, I think it might have been my first.
might have been mine too, actually.
I was
What a
too
beautiful moment.
young for that to be my first, so I think
Yes, because everyone's going to believe that you, of the four of us, is the youngest person on this panel, David.
they might.
I
but
don't think
no,
they would guess that I am the second oldest, but
And Brandon's the
Oh.
baby.
Brandon is.
I am the baby.
Not by
Oh.
much, though.
Not by much, no.
Speaking of
We're, what, a
babies,
year-
oh, so many.
Again, I'm born 97, so
Oh, we're the same age.
mhm.
But Zimbabwe. Yeah, I thought she really did the branding well, and this is where I like solidified. Okay, Lion King is your brand, and I'm obsessed with that, and I'm glad that it's allowed because I don't know that I would have thought that they would allow that because of copyright issues. But I thought she's so smart, and I think of probably everybody, she showed the most natural charisma in her video. Like, there's just something so lovable about everything she does. And then I love the rolling of the R's that she kept doing near the end with the purr, with which I don't think Logan can do that, right?
Nope.
Nope.
I'm pissed. I'm
But
mad
yes.
I can't do it.
Love this. This was
Oh,
my
you
number
would
2.
not be a good Portuguese speaker, baby.
Okay, so here's the thing. I am learning Portuguese right now, and it is the number one issue I'm having with learning Portuguese.
I would imagine.
Yeah, it's not fun not being able to do it. That's also why Spanish is sometimes really hard for me.
The fact that it started out with the Lion King, like, I was instantly sold. All the constant dancing, all like the video references, even the clothing in this, everything. Again, this was very calculated to a T, and another calculated to a T in the best way possible.
I love her. I really do. I really just love her. She's great. This was her and Maxi were by far my 2 favorites. It was her and Maxi, and then it was, shocker, my draft team, Mix and Tita Baby that was my top 4.
Mm. Yeah, my top 2 were Zimba and Tita.
Mm-hmm. It was Zimba and Mix Chanel for me.
Purr.
Yeah, for me it was Zimba, followed by Yuri, and then Tita and Maxi, like neck to neck for 30.
I love that we all have someone else different in our
Yep.
top 2.
We all
But we
Zimba.
all agreed that Zimba. I love it.
Yes.
That's great.
I love it. Okay, well, we're almost 2 hours in, and now
None of us had Kiana. Poor Kiana.
None of us, and none for Kiana, apparently. We'll talk about it. But let's briefly talk about the runway here in this episode. It's going to be hard to be brief, but we're going to have to. Category is
We have to. We still have Untucked, y'all.
We still have Untucked and the results and another video for 3 of us to film. So, category is hometown realness. Brief thoughts. First up, Popstar Bench.
Love it. I wish the hair was different. And I wish she had done something to cover up the metal bar. But other than that, I love it.
I'm going to say extra.
I agree, extra, but I love it.
I'm going to use a phrase. What the fuck is going on up in here on this day? Versace on legs.
8.
I thought you said hate for a second because your mic
Hey.
cut out, and I was like, okay, thank you. 4 + 4.
8. Left no crumbs. Period.
Street fashion.
Duh.
Work, bitch. Blunty. I ain't gonna use the word. Blunty. John Fedeliaga.
Solid, but the concept, we've seen it many, many, many times. But execution, good.
I'll say expensive, but weighing her down a little bit.
Again, maybe expensive, and also it's been done before. However, her execution, like, I just had a fashion orgasm watching this.
This was my favorite look of the night.
It's up there for me.
Okay.
This was my favorite. There's a lot
Actually,
of them up there for me.
It's my favorite too.
Hey!
My highest score.
Work. I'll
Okay.
take that. Work. Maxi. With backside not shown because I don't want to get demonetized. Despite wanting to honor the person that she is honoring, I don't want to get demonetized.
Nice outfit, but I love the concept. The concept and the presentation was amazing.
Gender blend in the best way. A little wrinkly.
Just one word. Smart.
I think the most powerful statement we've seen on Drag Race since Simone.
Yeah.
One of. I'm not going to say
one
the,
of. I was also going to say Kimura. I was going to say Kimura more.
Shit, you're so right. One of the most powerful statements we've seen in a while on Drag Race. I loved it. Angel.
When I hear that word, I can only think of "Angel of My Dreams," the song, but
yeah,
right,
it's
right. Period.
Living rent free in my head. But as for this look, I don't like what she had on the back of the train, but other than that, love it.
I'll say pretty and powerful.
Yeah, another powerful one, because this was a reference to what she talked about, and I'm like so glad that was a thing. So
remarkable. And I do love that the sisters are the ones that had the powerful statements on this runway too. That I love that. I love that it just happened to be both of them. Yudipota.
This is my comment.
For the audio listeners, it's
Mother. It's stupid. It's ugh.
Yeah. I'll say classy and unexpected.
Again, this is why Yudipota was my first pick, because
I understand.
Oh my god. I'll talk about a border and look over here, because I have so much to say about that.
My other favorite look of the night. And I will couple that with versatility. Thank you. Because now the judges can't say shit. Kiana.
I love this. I love her and I love this. Ugh. So good. Two of my favorites, Yudi and her, were two of my favorites.
Yeah, this is my top two. Stunning.
No, yeah, this was great.
Gorgina. Just Gorgina. That's really all. Ugh, so good. Mix Chanel.
Good, but a little underwhelming.
I'll say simplicity that works.
Yeah, it's really pretty. I can't deny that. So simple and pretty. So
simple but effective was going to be mine. So what y'all are all saying. Not his, not hers, not theirs, but our Tita Baby.
I was nervous because I didn't know what to expect from her on the runway. Love. She looks beautiful.
Far exceeded my expectations.
No, yeah, remember looking at her Instagram looks. This is so different. This was so different, and this was great. And this hair just
save it for look over here.
Yeah, I know.
My other favorite.
This was a good episode, y'all.
This is the best premiere of the year. I'm going to say one of the best premiere episodes of any season ever, honestly. It's just good. J. Quinn.
It's solid. It's just not my personal taste.
My favorite thing she did this episode easily.
Same.
Oh, was that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Same.
Out of the box, in a nice way, probably still my least favorite, but my score is not going to reflect that, honestly.
No, yeah.
And last up, Zimbading.
Girl.
Girl.
She honestly, she did what needed to be done. Period. That's it.
Mixed feelings, but the sentiment won out for me.
No, yeah. Just, again, smart, powerful, just touching.
Concept, delivery, and message, 100 out of 10. Execution left a little bit to be desired. I gotta be just honest and genuine about that.
Bottom part, yeah.
But I love her, and I love this. And incredible. But okay, are we ready to talk about Untucked?
I'm ready.
Girl.
Can we talk
Who's
about
acting as who?
Can we just quickly mention the 5 people called safe first?
I have that in the result. I have that in the results part because I have top 6. So yeah.
Oh yeah, we got to act for Lana. Or
yes,
this is for the viewers.
Well, now it's for the audience because if you haven't noticed, Lana hasn't been here for the podcast, but we love her and we things. All I will say. So who claimed Zimba?
Oh, that was me.
Okay. I don't know who I want to be.
Well, we need a Versex. We need a Kiana.
We need a Kiana, and we need a J Quinn.
I almost feel like we need a Udipota as well.
Well,
I am happy taking both supporting roles of Udipota and J Quinn.
Perfect.
Unless someone else wants it, I honestly don't care.
I was gonna say I could take Udipota.
Well, I'm out on the stage right now.
Okay.
Oh,
you know what?
Oh,
no,
me too.
you can be Udipota, and if you want to be Udipota and J Quinn, or River, who do you want to be? Most importantly, who do you want to be?
we actually doing it because I thought we were messing around.
Oh, I was kind of serious.
We'll do it
we don't
quickly.
have to. We can do it like super quick.
Yeah,
Because I don't remember. Okay, I have some things written down.
Oh
but
no,
we'll-
I'm not doing exact quotes. I'm doing the essence.
Wait, you don't have your script ready? The level of unprofessionalism, far too much.
Far too much.
Hello.
Okay, well, since no one's claiming roles, it's fine. We'll just move along.
We'll just
We'll
talk about it
audition
because
for
they're-
it.
We'll just discuss it. So we start Untucked, and Versex is already talking about how Kiana is probably in the bottom, and just all of oh my god. That's
But
It
no,
makes
we
sense,
actually
though.
start. We actually start with Angel coming in first and running straight to the food, which was so relatable.
Oh my god.
I'm obsessed
I
with her.
appreciate them having
Eating
food
Versex,
now.
Mm-hmm.
They had
She's
it
so
last
real.
season, too.
Did they have food last
Yeah,
season?
they did, because I kept learning about different kinds of food from Untucked.
Oh shit, you're right.
Yeah.
Mhm. And
I
Angel was
hope
also.
it's
She was
all of the
talking about.
food-
Go
I
ahead.
hope it's all the foods that they featured in the promo shots. I hope that.
Yeah.
I hope it's
Well,
all
no,
a big tie-in.
there were two. There were two.
Oh, Werk. Okay, cool.
Yeah, mhm.
I love that.
Here's what I want to say. So, as far as I know, they're the Save Queens. They go back there. And so they only have the 6 people on the stage to judge off of. And
yeah.
so if you have the assumption, okay, we're safe, so we have the tops and the bottoms out there, then 3 of them have to be in the bottom. And guess what?
Well, yes.
All 4 of us probably would have had Kiana in the bottom out of those 6. So I don't think they're crazy for thinking that. In fact, I was agreeing with a lot of their assumptions based on the knowledge they had.
Because I'm going to be honest, it was kind of boring. I gotta just be honest, it was a little like I wouldn't necessarily say one note in reference to Kiana's video. I wouldn't say boring, I would say one note. A chaotic note, but a one note nonetheless. I agree, I understood it, but
But Udipota, I mean, I guess she was in my bottom 3 out of the top 6, but barely. So,
and who else would have?
And then
Mix?
if we're judging, probably Mix, which I don't agree with.
Yes, but
not for me. I would have had Maxi in the bottom 3 of the top 6. So,
ooh,
dang.
The bottom 3 of the top 6 because none of it matters.
Right.
Yeah.
But they're doing their thing. John talks about, being a little nervous and being a little reserved because obviously a lot of these girls know each other or at least have one other person that they know very, very intently. Because one of the things we didn't even really get to talk about is a lot of the interpersonal relationships that are going on this season. Because like Maxie has her legitimate sister, Angel, and her drag sister, Popstar. And Popstar is apparently related to a bunch of the girls from the past 2 seasons because Obar, so it makes sense. And then like
it's a huge family, and I love it. It's like all huge kind of.
Yeah. Kiana and Udipota are very, very close because they're the provincial queens of the season. They're both from CDO as well, so I'm assuming they knew each other prior.
Yes.
And then we see Mix and Jay Quinn are like absolute besties, which I love. But John doesn't really have that, and I felt for John.
And this kind of made me like John because I felt like John was the most self-aware. John went back and said, I'm happy to be safe because I was the worst in this challenge. And I agree.
Yeah. I love a self-aware queen, and I think we can get into the not so self-aware or maybe extremely self-aware queen. There's no in between. It's either one extreme or
I think
it's even that.
I honestly think for sex is both. Like delusional and incredibly self-aware at the same time. But I think that just adds to the character that they're trying to portray here. Because all the girls come back. They're faking that they are, tops and bottoms. So of course,
I live. That's so shady.
I live for it, but then it provided all of this drama that like was entertaining to watch, but I didn't end up loving as much because of what happened. But all of the girls were basically like, no, Kiana's in the bottom. Kiana's boring. Kiana's basic. Kiana, boring, whatever. Bye. Is essentially what happened. And she takes it very, very personally. And specifically, will not
to her. That's the thing. It wasn't like she was already kind of I don't know if insecure, but like she kind of felt Kiana kind of, it was very clear that she knew that the girls were not featuring her as much.
And
like even before anything started.
She had a moment in the mirror earlier after the confrontation with Versex on the table. Mm-hmm. She has a little bit of a moment, which we didn't talk about because there's so much to talk about in this episode. But she has a little bit of a moment. She breaks down a little bit, getting ready for the runway. And then we ultimately see the resolution of the Versex and Kiana fighting is her having another kind of a little breakdown moment because we find out a lot more about her backstory. We know that she's very conflict averse. She talks about that it comes from her parents. And without getting too far in because I don't want to cry, all I will say is I can relate.
Yeah. I don't want to skip over the fact on how this information came out. I don't think we even talked about it, but
no, I just wanted to frame it and then we could talk about it. I just wanted to frame the situation and then dive into it.
On the runway, we did hear Mama Pao ask about the drama between Jay Quinn and Versex versus Kiana. And she said, well, maybe they're insecure or I forget exactly how she worded
Well,
it.
I was like, I think they're insecure.
And then Zimba is the one to bring it up. And I didn't expect that from Zimba. I was a little
But I understood why. I understood why, because she kind of said, that she brought it up because I'm pretty sure she kind of understands how production works. Because here's the thing. Kiana didn't just came out and talk about the other girls. She was asked on the runway. So it wasn't just like for free. You know what I mean? She was asked and she had to answer, and she was honest.
Producers wanted Mama Pow to ask this question to get this exact drama that we got in Untucked.
Exactly. And when Zimba was like stirring the pot or brought it up, I don't know when she said it, but she said that she wanted to give the girls the opportunity to sort it out before they went back to the main stage, so that they wouldn't have to go through that on the main stage. Because I think she knew that if they didn't talk about that in Untucked, they were going to ask the girls on the stage something about that, and they were going to have to like do all of that on the stage, I think.
True. I'm just trying to be consistent because I gave Verushka a hard time when she butted herself into other people's business last season in Untucked. And I don't think Zimba had malicious intentions. I do think Verushka did, but I was just slightly disappointed that it came out that way. And from her, I didn't expect it to come from Zimba.
No.
And neither did Yuripota, who kept being like, why did you do that, girl?
The voice of reason in this scenario, Yuripota just being like, girl, why are you... Like, you don't need to... it's not that serious. You don't need to take it this far.
I think, like, I understand why Zimba did that. I just don't think it was necessary.
Right. And I do want to give some grace to the reaction we get from Versex, who kind of loses her mind in hearing that she's insecure. But I feel like we kind of got her side later on when we do have a one-on-one between her and Kiana. And she explains, I've been called that a lot in my life, and I've worked hard to be secure with who I am. My friends have said I'm insecure in the past. So it was that specific word that you said to them and you didn't say to me. That's what's bothering me. And I actually thought that once she was able to calm down a little bit, she expressed her opinion or her perspective really well. And I was very pleased with the resolution these two came, because it felt genuine, and I really do hope they're able to put that behind themselves. So
yeah, I'm glad they were able to. Go ahead, Logan.
You go ahead first.
Okay.
Because I'm providing a different perspective. So you go.
Okay. I was glad they were able to after everything they were able to kind of work it out, but the way that it happened, I mean, okay. I told Logan before we started this, like, this Untucked was very hard for me to watch. At the same time that it was very entertaining, it was also very triggering for me, because, and that's where I related to Kiana a lot, because I've been through something very similar, like a very similar situation of that type of confrontation. And it's just, it was a good thing, because then I have something to talk about in therapy and work through, but like, it was very triggering. So it was very hard for me to like see Versex's side. I do see it. I do understand where she's coming from, but where she loses me is when she wants the other person to see her side and why she got upset, but then she's not willing to do the same for the other party, and she just wants her perspective to be the valid one, and she's not even willing to analyze her own behavior and see how she maybe could have reacted differently. Because I do understand being triggered by a specific word, because as like Kiana, my trigger is being called too much, because I've been called that my whole life. So the same reason why Kiana was upset was because she heard something that was triggering for her, and Versex heard something that was triggering for her, but only one side was willing to really actually listen to the other and even reach out a hand to apologize. And even when they did reach out a hand to apologize, they were met with hostility and like a grand feeling of like I even wrote it down. What did she say? Kiana was like, she called Versex to the side and was like, let's talk, just the two of us. And then Versex was like, yeah, explain yourself. I'm like, girl, no, I can't. I can't. It's
and I am happy I waited to give my thought, because that is my exact fucking thought about this is where Versex lost me. I gotta be honest. I understand that they have resolved their stuff now, and I get it, and I understand it. This is the moment that Versex lost me in this episode, because as someone who has been called insecure myself, I see exactly where she is coming from. And I have my trigger stuff as well, so I understand where she's coming from. Where she lost me completely is the fact that she is not willing to acknowledge that Kiana had the exact same thing happen. It wasn't a word, it was a series of actions and words used to describe her. Their triggers were the exact same scenarios, not exact same, but very similar scenarios. They reacted in very similar ways. And where Kiana was the bigger person here and acknowledged that and apologized profusely
for something she did not start. By
for
the
something
way,
she didn't start. Versex instead on the other side is like the explain yourself part. Fucking hated it.
She was kind of like, oh yeah, I'm willing to let
so
you
nonchalant.
explain yourself to me and see if you're worth
It was so nonchalant, and even in the resolution, the only person we hear say, "Oh, we're good now," is Kiana. We don't hear it from Versex.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, it rubs me the wrong way that either we're not seeing Versex acknowledge that she was wrong, or she just straight up didn't acknowledge it. And I'm unfortunately thinking it might be the latter. And I don't want to think that about her.
I think Kiana, just like she said, is very non-confrontational. And I think she just wanted it to be over. Yeah. And she was like, okay, how do I make this stop? Because it's unbearable to me. I hate this and I need it to stop. So it doesn't matter if I'm wrong, right, whatever. If I apologize, she's going to stop. And that's what she did.
Relatable.
And even then she was met with hostility. So,
but that's something I want to point out. I have a lot of thoughts here. So and this is not me knocking Kiana at all, but we cannot act like she was so benevolent for going up and apologizing, because that was her self-defense. That was, how do I stop this? Because I'm telling you this because this is exactly what I would do. How can I end this? How can I make this conflict go away? Go and apologize. And it's not me saying, like, I understand how I hurt you. It's how can I make this end? But empathy should not be selective. It shouldn't be. And that goes for all those queens, and it goes for everybody on this panel too. I think you have to show grace for all of the people in this situation, even if they're not showing that same grace, because then you're no better than them, right? So I really think that people are flawed, and you have to realize we're flawed. So just show grace when you can. And I really am trying to show grace to everybody involved in this situation, even though some people didn't handle it how I think they should have.
To clarify,
100%. They're on a pressure cooker. So like, I understand that everything is just like high and elevated. I don't hate Versex. Like I didn't, like I said, I understand where she's coming from. I get it. But just because I understand it doesn't mean I have to like it.
Right.
But I do understand. And I don't think it's something like that she cannot repair ever. I wish for her that she sees this as an opportunity to grow and become a better person. That's it. That's literally it.
And to clarify, I absolutely agree with what River is saying. I did not like the actions that Versex displayed in this episode, but her emotions are 100% valid, and I very deeply relate to exactly where she's coming from. I just didn't like the actions she displayed.
Brandon?
Right,
Yeah.
literally.
It's confrontation.
Fine. No, because like what I need to know, like, because someone brought up in Untucked that Versex had some issues with a former friend group.
She brought it up, I think.
Yes, she brought it up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to think, is that the connection with Minty?
Maybe.
Like, is that the group?
You're messy, Logan. Maybe.
I know, but like,
Maybe
but
it's just trying to connect the
I'm
dots.
putting the pieces together. Like, I'm putting the pieces together.
Yeah, because
I
like
don't know.
that was what it was intriguing to me the most. Is like, what did Versex do to cause this, and then
Well,
causing
less what
this?
Versex did, but what were people perceiving her as?
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested to see whether we're going to get a resolution to this whole situation. My final thought on the whole thing, and then we physically have to move on because this video is over 2 hours now. I love the moment that we got with Kiana and John, where Kiana was being really like open and vulnerable with John, and the whole time John just being like, well, Kiana's the person I do my makeup next to, but Versex is one of my good friends, so like this sucks. And John just being really, really lovely and wonderful. I really love John, and I loved John in this Untucked. So,
And I did love that with all of that being said, we had great television for this episode. So
there's a
I'm
reason
glad
this
for that.
video is almost 2 hours long,
Yeah.
over 2 hours long now, because it's just great television.
Nothing beats Philippines Untucked.
Really, it doesn't.
Honestly, yeah.
Maybe season 13 of Untucked, and that's a stretch.
Maybe when we get
you don't
Brazil
cancel
and
it,
if we get
Chloe.
Untucked for that, if we get the girls drunk, we can get some.
Yeah,
If we get them drunk.
Okay, let's talk about the results of this episode. So, obviously 5 girls were called safe. We ended up with a top 6.
This is what I want to talk about earlier. Like when those 5 people were called safe, I messaged Lana and Logan. I'm like, I'm so confused because the 5 people I ranked lowest are safe. This doesn't make sense. It has to be a top 6, right?
Well, yes.
And then when they were called back from Untucked, the person said that they all had to learn the lip sync and they were gagged.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, they would not give a girl a critique and then say, "Oh, you're up for elimination." Like that would have been fucked.
Mm-hmm.
But we end up with a top 6: Maxi, Mix, Zimba, Tita, Yudi, and Kiana. Ultimately, a top 3 of Maxi, Zimba, and Kiana. But we end up with a top 2 for the episode, lip syncing for the win, between Kiana and Zimba. We all talked about who we would have had other than Kiana.
Yep.
But yes. Regardless, we get, as Zimba said herself, a first iconic lip sync of this season, where Kiana and Zimba are lip syncing to Puede Ba by Meme and Trata.
When they were both called the top 2, I knew immediately we were going to have a great show. Immediately.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And we did.
It was so good. This is hands down one of my favorite lip syncs I've seen this year. And it felt pretty even. I did end up having somebody that I kept being drawn to and being like, whoa, you're doing things I don't see often in lip syncs. But I just thought both of them did so well. I wouldn't have been mad if it was a double win.
Right.
Yeah, either of them could have taken it, or both of them. Like it was really close.
Both of them did amazing.
I'm curious who we all had as our winner.
I have an
I
idea.
don't know that it's going to be the same.
How about at the count of 3, we'll all hold up a finger, either 1 or 2.
Okay.
1 if it's Kiana, 2 if it's Zimbadine.
Okay.
We think 1 the lip sync, yeah?
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
1
Okay.
if Kiana, 1, 2 if Zimbadine, 1. Okay.
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 You ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh.
Wow, I thought I was going to be the
Wow.
only one. I really thought I was going to be the only one that said Kiana. For context,
Oh,
audio
baby.
listeners.
Oh, yes.
Brandon said Zimba, and the rest of us said Kiana. We're really not being audio friendly this episode.
No, we're
I'm
not.
Sorry.
We'll do better next time.
The audio listeners and David.
Explain yourself, Brandon.
Okay. So again, it was really, really close, but I think for me, Zimba had the edge just for me. But no, I am not denying how Kiana did, because like it was so close. Like it was so hard for me to choose between the two. Like I was just like, oh god, I was just like, and I think at the very last minute, I was just like, I think it's Zimba, and to me, it was. So, again, both Kiana and Zimba did amazing, and again, by far one of my favorite lip syncs this year. So,
I think what the difference is, because they both did so well, I think our choices are based on just the feeling, not like anything.
Not any sort of technical anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because
You're just like how they made you feel, and that's it.
Right. And I'm glad, David, that we have the same winner, because when you mentioned seeing things that people haven't really done in lip syncs, I saw, and when they did the close-ups on Kiana and she was just giving face and emotion, I'm like, oh, you are not just a stunt girl, and she is, and I love her for it. But someone trained you well in how to Hanabeshi. Was it you, Hanabeshi? I think it might have been Hanabeshi.
It was the details for me. Yeah.
And
like
that is
that.
something we noted from Hanabeshi last season, is that she was very detail oriented in the way that she lip synced. Fortunately for her, unfortunately for us, we only got to see it twice. But I think Zimba did an incredible job. But, however, her lack of experience actually really showed in this lip sync. Because while she was doing all of the stunts and everything like that, I felt more connected to Kiana's performance than I did Zimba's.
I agree.
And I think that honestly just has to do with experience level and the way that Kiana emoted the song.
Agree.
I do want to rewind just slightly because we didn't talk about it, but I do want to talk about Zimba sharing her story about her mom.
Yes.
Because that was the heaviest moment from me. Just knowing that she felt shame because of the way her mom looks because of leprosy. Both of her parents had leprosy, and she didn't want her coming to her graduation because she was ashamed. And you can tell that this is just something that's weighed on her. And this was her making up for it the best way she could by just representing for her mom and the struggle that she's going through. And I was just so touched and emotional watching this, because I've been ashamed of my parents at points too. And it's really not fun to think about that. And I hope she's able to let that go. And I'm really sorry that her dad isn't around anymore. That was heartbreaking to hear too. But I just hope that she was able to get any type of closure she needed with her dad as well. I just adore Zimba so much.
Yeah, that moment really got me.
Oof. Just oof.
Yeah.
And she still didn't win?
Well,
I wouldn't have been mad.
Double win.
it could have been, honestly.
It could have.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
Yeah.
No,
Give
Kiana
me
still did
more
great
points.
and deserved that lip sync for the win.
Yeah.
Definitely. And that's where we leave off. No one goes home. Kiana wins. Very emotional. Rightly so. And this is where we see Versace saying, maybe I underestimated the girl.
Oh, did you see Versex's face when Kiana was announced the winner? Very Jan. It was giving Jan.
Made for a good story for the episode.
Very good. Oh, such great TV.
Yeah, definitely.
So good.
Now,
and we're going to have, because nobody went home, we're going to have 33 looks for next week.
Oh, we'll talk about it here shortly. I'm pissed. Do we have a draft update, David?
Kind of.
Eve is in the lead.
Yes.
That's all you need to know.
Based on how we might adjust how the points were for this episode, but right now
we're trying to figure it out.
Yeah, right now Eve had the best possible episode because she won the maxi challenge, won the mini challenge, and came in second place this week because she has
Zimba and Kiana.
Yeah. But then it looks like it's a tie between David, Lana, and Logan, closely followed by Brandon.
And then I was going to say, I don't know what the middle looks like, but River is last. Sorry. And Eve is winning.
Yep.
All of the rest of us had at least one person in the top.
Yep.
So, but yeah, the fact that we get 33 looks next week because it's a ball. Woo!
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Second episode with the ball. That's going to be
how gorgeous, lovely. Can't you tell I'm so excited to talk about 33 looks next week? As if these
Maybe that's why we got so much drama this first episode, because next week they're not going to have time for
we'll actually
any
get to see the
storyline.
workroom. We'll actually get to see the workroom.
Well,
I feel like we didn't even see the workroom.
We'll get to see them like making the garments. So,
well, yes.
Yeah, we'll probably get a walkthrough this time. So,
yeah.
I hope it's not with that asshole on the panel. I hope he's not there.
We already saw
Let trash go.
Okay.
Let trash go.
No. That's the theme for the.
No, I'm aware, but this man is making a comment about the trash comment again, and I need them to let it go.
I need him to stop making trash happen. It's not happening. Let it go. Period.
Because he is trash. And on that note, we're going to end this episode because we still have to film. Look over here.
Aren't you glad we split it into 2 episodes, viewers?
I'm so happy about it. I don't know about you all, but I'm so happy about it. But no, thank you so much for joining us for this very, very long and extensive premiere recap for season 3 of DragRace Philippines. We will be back next week with episode 2, 33 looks. Oh boy, oh joy. So thrilled. So thrilled. In the meantime, make sure to subscribe, like, and share on the way out. We see you, Philippines fans. We see you watching this video. The subscriptions are not adding up. The math ain't mathin'. So it is free. It takes 1 second. It's right down there. Subscribe, click that. Thank you. The like button, click that too. The bell, also click that. It takes 3 seconds. Thank you. Make sure to check out the description for our audio podcast links, our other YouTube channels, and our Patreon, as well as our social media, and where you can get your merch, including but not limited to Cut Mug. All those links are down in the description below, and let us know all the things we got wrong in the comments.
And we thank you for that, by the way.
And we thank you. Cheers.
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 Woo.
Explain yourself to me.
Now.
Party.
Sorry.
Party.
Next.
Next.